Remember to like the video and also subscribe to my channel. Enjoy the video. Welcome back to episode 2 of the Roller Coaster Tycoon adventure. Today we're building a drop tower. So let's get started. So we have our first part of the park we completed in episode 1. And there's also a train too I completed in episode 1. So we're gonna go to the other side, to the other station of the train. Other train station. And as you can see right here, I'm going to be building a queue line for the train, so kind of basic switchbacks, but it works. So I'm building it right here. Now this system is it's a grid based, so it's very, very easy. Just basically building more queue. Then there just happened to be some peeps trapped, so I had to fix that issue and deal with that. And as you can see, I'm just placing pathways down at this point. Now the entrance didn't connect there, but it works, it's fine. Now I'm building a pathway to the exit, so this is really just how you open a ride. You have to build an exit path and an entry path, and it'll let you open the ride then. Probably should do a queue line just so you have your peeps aren't just waiting randomly. Here's where I select the drop tower. So this is like an S&S tower. So there's a launch mode, there's also a drop mode. I ended up choosing the drop mode just because I wanted it to actually just have a drop, like a turbo drop instead of a space shot. So I go to about 300, a little over 300 feet. And then I add a queue line over here too. So kind of shorter queue line, but it works. I'll also be building a coaster in this episode too, and you'll see that in a little bit. So I add some color to the tower, I make it orange. Then, yeah, so I don't know what happened there, but I think they were getting out, they were dropped off by the train over there. Yep, so just coloring it now. It's orange, so I'm switching modes to make it free fall. It went way too fast when it first did it, so I just slowed the speed down. To about 6 miles per hour, so it's slow, but most drop towers are. Until the drop, then they aren't slow. Now I add some shops and restroom to the small area of the park. And there will be a path connecting this. In episode 3, we'll be building the path that connects to this, both areas together, with some rides and another coaster in that area eventually. But that'll be episode 3, so add some chicken stand, a root beer stand, and also a restroom I add too. Some peeps. That queue line is massive. I don't get that, why it's like that, but so I've opened both of those, and then I add a restroom to that empty square over there. So here I'm selecting it right now. I added it to the park and opened it. So now this is where I start building the coaster. Wait a minute. Oh, I open the drop tower up. It goes again because, you know, that's the game. So here's when I start building the roller coaster. So I actually chose a Wild Mouse coaster and just made some flat turns and stuff like that on the ride. And wasn't that hard to build. It's just because just something I just randomly came up with, you know, it worked, kind of. See the drop tower dropping now. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . now I start building the coaster. So I've chosen a Wild Mouse coaster because it's easy, and I just really didn't have much of a desire to build anything bigger. So I chose the Wild Mouse coaster. Yep, see, there you go. I raised the station a little bit, placed the station down. Then I pretty much build the layout from here on. I just build the layout, so lift hill's going up right now. In the first turn, small drop. A small drop in a small little hill, or upward section of the ride. It's like a little airtime, little bunny hops. Turn, another drop, and then another turn. So this is really all this ride. It's just turns and small drops, pretty much. And it's nothing really special. It's pretty much supposed to be a family coaster. Surprising I had enough room to do that, even. So now this ride did have some issues in this section where it valued, so I had to add a lift. I had a lift onto that section. You'll see where it happens. It barely makes it over these hills. And see, it's very slow right there, so of course it doesn't make it up the hill. This is the problematic section. I end up adding a chain to later. It's a good, decent-sized family coaster, but nothing too big. I have the height markers on there too, so I can see exactly how tall the ride is at that point. Turn again. So a pretty basic family coaster, nothing special. See, it actually values right. You can see where it's valuing. So of course, I had a chain right there. Of course, I didn't notice that when I was making this, so you know. So you can see it tests now. It's nothing too big, but I have a junior coaster in this park too, which we built in episode 1, so this is like a step up, and we'll be building a thrill ride next episode. Possibly with an inversion. Adding the exit. I didn't actually add a queue line to this because I didn't want to. I might do that during episode 3, we'll kind of have to see. Added just some, yeah, so. No, I ended up adding a lift hill onto the. I ended up adding a lift hill onto this because a second lift on that upward section because it just didn't quite make it. So I accidentally write it there. So it tests. I also ended up writing the drop tower in this video too, so. And we'll probably make modifications to this in episode 3, so keep an eye out for that. That'll probably be coming probably next week. So it just goes around the course. It should finish. Yep, it finishes its course then. So it's a pretty small family coaster, just to have an intermediate coaster, and then we'll have a big coaster, and probably going around the whole park in a way. Goes back in the station again. So we also end up riding the drop tower in this episode too. Now I need you guys to vote on names below, because I don't really know any names for these rides. So comment below a name you want to see for a ride, and I'll rename it that name. So just repainting it white and blue, because why not? It's a family coaster, so. This is when I ride the drop tower, so you can actually see the drop tower is pretty big. I actually hop on at the top of the ride, so I can just get the drop. So, doing that. Then it drops then, so, you know, pretty standard drop tower. So that's all for this episode. Thank you guys for watching this, and I'll see you later. Bye!